Hey, y'all, welcome back to our weekly guided meditation series. My name is Martin Benson. Happy to be here with you today. I'm excited. I'm trying out some new AirPods. I borrowed them from my wife just to see if we can make the audio a little bit better since I'm recording here at home. So I hope it works for y'all. For our practice today, I wanted us to bring our attention to the field of awareness in which all of thoughts and feelings and sensations exist, sort of like the field in which we experience the world both inside and outside. And when we talk about it, sometimes it's good to create a metaphor. I think for me, it's really helpful to create a metaphor to understand sort of what I mean when I say awareness, right? Like that word gets thrown around a lot. And I just want to clarify what exactly I mean when I'm saying awareness. And the good metaphor to use when we're thinking about awareness as opposed to thoughts or like sensations or experiences that come through the mind is to think about it like the sky, right? Like the sky like nature of the mind. You might have heard that term before, but the sky is sort of this space in which clouds exist, in which birds fly through, the airplanes fly. It's where storms happen, where they come and go. But the sky itself is sort of like this encompassing and spaciousness in which the activity of the world is existing and moving and changing. And the same can be said for our awareness, sort of this deepest level of our consciousness is like the sky, it's open. And all of the thoughts that stream through the sky are there for us to be aware of, right? And so, in the same sense of like the sky and there being a storm there, no matter how violent the storm, if it's a category 4 or 5 hurricane passing through, the sky itself is unscathed, right? It's existent almost like outside of those things because it is untouched, unstained by whatever experience or activity is happening within it. And the same could be said for our own awareness, right? So no matter what kind of thoughts we have, whether we label them as positive thoughts or negative thoughts, they don't touch the level of awareness that we're sort of tapping into when we're dropping into deeper states of our meditation, right? And so this is where this quality of equanimity that I talked about in the very first meditation of these series really comes into hand, because equanimity is about being able to accept and experience the world around us, regardless of if it's positive or negative, to have the same sort of attitude toward whatever it is that's arising, so that we don't get sort of taken for a ride by negative thoughts, or we don't also get so attached to like the positive thoughts, right? That we can find this sort of neutral territory to where we can be aware of what's happening. And so that's sort of what I'm talking about when I'm saying our meditation is going to focus on the field of awareness itself today. Is it's going to be focused on this sort of backdrop in which all the thoughts and stuff take place. And the goal here, if there was a goal, is to just get a taste for what it feels like to be in that space of awareness outside of sort of the attachment or the aversion of whatever thoughts might be happening. So that no matter what kind of storms or turbulent thoughts you might be experiencing in your meditation, you can rest back in awareness of them, to note them, to know that they're there without being affected by it. Just like the sky itself is unaffected by whatever passes through it. And the way we do this is to find this sort of relaxed quality of sensations in the body, to be able to relax into our seat, to be able to feel into our breath, and then to drop below all that and just notice the field of awareness that's experiencing all these things. And this might sound pretty esoteric, but it's actually very experiential. It's something you can really taste and touch. And when you taste that space, you know it, even if it's just for a millisecond. So today, let's explore this quality of meditation where we're just being aware of awareness itself, sort of being in that space that encompasses all the other experiences that might be flowing in and out of our minds, and to find restfulness there, to find refuge in that field of awareness. And so we'll begin like we always begin, taking a nice, comfortable seat. So making sure you have whatever blocks or blankets necessary to stabilize your posture. If you're seated in a chair, remember, plant those feet firmly on the ground so that, and also don't sit and slouch into the back of the chair, but scoot up and sit toward the edge of the seat so that you can be upright in your spine. Or, of course, as always, if laying on the ground is most appropriate, go for it. But just take a moment to really establish your posture. I like to kind of rock a little bit from side to side sometimes and just really find the stability in my hips. And then once you find that rootedness, you can place your hands on top of your knees, just like this. If it feels comfortable to place them upright, you can do it like that. Or you can just simply clasp your hands and just rest them in your lap. And then go ahead and unhinge the jaw. Press the tongue against the upper palate right behind the top row of teeth. And of course, you can close your eyes or just softly gaze right out in front of you at about a 45-degree angle. And we'll just begin by sort of checking in with our body, noticing where tension might be, and consciously releasing some of that tension, letting gravity do as much of the work as possible. So letting the jaw unhinge, the skin on the forehead relax, the cheekbones relax. Allow your shoulders to just kind of slide down your back so your neck's nice and long. And just begin feeling your breath. Feeling the movement in and out of your body. And allowing the breath to move in its own rhythm. So not trying to breathe in any particular pattern, but just noticing the natural inclination to inhale and that natural inclination to let the breath go. And just rest in the movement of your breath. Allowing the sounds that might be happening around you to move through you. Allowing the sensations in your body to be just as they are. So finding this comfortable space where we can just allow everything to be the way it is without needing to change it. To find that equanimity, that attitude of openness and acceptance for whatever the reality of this moment is for you, even if it's difficult. Just creating this attitude of acceptance of exactly what's happening. So that there's no judgment here, no expectation or anticipation, no desire. Just resting in your own aliveness, feeling your breath. Just watching your breath move, settling into your practice, allowing everything to be perfectly as it is. So there's nothing to do, nowhere to go, but just bear witness to this moment. And begin to drop into the awareness of everything that's happening. So notice how you're aware of your breath. Where are you aware? How are you aware? Who is aware? Can you establish that gap between whatever thoughts are present and the awareness of those thoughts? So you begin to notice the sky-like nature of your mind, the field of awareness in which all the thoughts or sensations pass through. And just resting in that sort of witness consciousness, so that whatever sounds you hear, whatever feelings that arise, you treat it all the same. It's just stimulus within the field of your awareness, a ripple on the wave, the wave on the ocean. And just dropping into the depth below the surface, where you can notice everything that's happening without judgment. And then allowing this field of awareness to expand. So that you can take in and sense all the activity that might be happening without being affected by it. In the same way the sky isn't affected by the storms, or the bird or the plane, it's just holding it all equally, without concern, without judgment. So just feeling the sky-like nature of your mind. Becoming the field of awareness. And just finding restfulness in that space. a sense of ease and effortlessness. So you notice everything for what it is. A thought is just a thought. A sensation in the body is just a sensation in the body. A sound in the room or in the distance is just a sound in the room or in the distance. And just return back to this field of awareness to notice all the things that might be happening both in and outside of yourself. Holding it all with equanimity. And if you notice you get stuck on a certain train of thought, or you obsess over a certain sensation somewhere in your body that maybe is a little uncomfortable, see if you can step back into the sky-like nature of your mind, into the field of awareness. To experience the difference between the sensation and the awareness itself. And to take refuge in your awareness of this moment. Letting go of labels, of concepts. Just bearing witness to what is present right here, right now. Continue to take note of all that's present in the field of your awareness right now. Communing with this moment fully, without changing it, without wishing it away. Also without clinging to it. Finding this freedom of awareness, this freedom that arises when we fully become the field of awareness. So that we can see clearly the nature of our own mind, the nature of our thoughts, knowing firsthand that our thoughts do not equal who we are. They're just clouds passing through the sky. there to be experienced, but not to be identified with. If your eyes are closed, slowly open them and continue your meditation, but with the eyes just very lightly open. To just take in the visual data with the same attitude. And noticing the awareness that holds all the visual stimuli that you're experiencing. And try not to focus on a particular place, but just let the eyes softly take in the whole room equally. So maybe there's even a little blurriness. Just taking in the light that's in the room, taking in the sounds. Noticing your breath, your thoughts, and just resting in this field of awareness of all of these experiences that are happening without being moved by them in any way, but just so effortlessly taking it all in. Becoming fully aware of the field of awareness and all the experiences, all of the things happening within it. Just finding restfulness and ease in the sky-like nature of your mind, the pure openness, unaffected, unscathed by whatever arises. Experiencing also an intimacy with the field of awareness, letting go of all opinions, all expectations, all judgments, and just bearing witness in this moment with a full and open heart. Very slowly make movements in your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock a little from side to side. Maybe rolling the neck or the shoulders. And perhaps you feel some more spaciousness in your mind, some more freedom there. Thank you all so much for taking the time to practice, and I invite you to explore this field of awareness on a daily basis, just to be able to create some space between the awareness and the thoughts so that we don't get so identified all the time, and that we can find this refuge, this place of freedom to where we can reside and bear witness compassionately to whatever it is that's arising in our experience. I find for me this brings more clarity in my life and allows me to effectively respond to the world around me in a way that brings positive energy and useful attention. Thank you all so much.